Brittney Girner is trending again, and this time it's not just a sports headline. It's something that reads more like the start of a mystery series. What kicked off as murmurs online has exploded into a digital wildfire. Screenshots popping up, cryptic messages making rounds, fans doing deep dives. It's all taking a wild turn. Even people who followed Brittney's entire career are now staring at their screens saying, "Wait, what's even happening here?" Before we dig into the full story, hit that follow button and drop "fair shot for all" in the comments if you think we deserve facts over fiction. So here's the play-by-play. It all sparked when Brittney had an intense on-court clash with Caitlin Clark last month. Seemed like typical court heat until a video clip went viral and fans swore they caught Girner saying something shady, something that sounded like trash and possibly white girl. That by itself might have blown over, but what happened next didn't help. Girner didn't clarify, didn't respond, just went silent. And that silence only threw more gasoline on the fire. Suddenly people online began digging up old interviews, tweets, and even court records. What started as a basic feud turned into a full-blown investigation into her past, and things got chaotic real fast. The biggest headline wasn't even about trash talk anymore. It was about where she served her sentence overseas. Here's where it flips. Brittney, a WNBA powerhouse and Olympic medalist, was reportedly placed in a male prison facility while detained in Russia. Not a women's unit, a men's unit. Naturally, people are now wondering, did the Russian government know something that the rest of the world has ignored or refused to say out loud? As fans pulled deeper into the story, they found video clips, including one where Brittney appeared shirtless in an old post, supposedly from her own social media. That video stayed up for over 2 years, over 100 weeks, and never got flagged. And considering how strict social media AI is about nudity, that raised more than a few eyebrows. A topless post without censorship usually only flies if the algorithm sees the subject as male. Combine that with the fact that no scars, no signs of surgery were visible in the clip. It left people asking tough questions. Some speculated she might have had elective surgery to remove breast tissue, which isn't uncommon in certain cases. But if so, shouldn't there be signs? Something? A faint scar? The chest appeared completely smooth, and that's what got people talking. Some critics believe that the algorithms didn't blur the video because the AI assessed the person in the clip as male. Whether that's true or not, the video remained up without a single community strike. That doesn't usually happen by accident. Then came a tweet that sent everything spinning. It didn't come from a news outlet or verified account, just a random user. But it went massively viral, pulling over 2 million views. It claimed that Brittney isn't trans and isn't openly transitioning, but was allegedly raised as a girl by a mentally unstable mother, despite being born male. The tweet accused the mother of falsifying documents, guiding Girner into girls' sports teams through paperwork alone, and maintaining that identity all through her youth. The claim was that by the time she hit college and then the WNBA, the facade had to continue. But outside of the game, she allegedly lives like a man. According to the tweet, Girner dresses masculine, identifies with male-coded traits, and even engages in activities that would reinforce that image. Fixing vehicles, off-roading, the whole rugged aesthetic. The tweet suggests that had her identity matched her biology, she'd likely be a mediocre male athlete, nowhere near elite NBA standards. That's a huge statement, and whether or not it holds water, it lit up the internet. But the biggest question remains, why did Russia put her in a male prison? This isn't like someone accidentally booking a wrong room at a hotel. This is Russia we're talking about. They are notoriously strict about gender identity and classification, especially within law enforcement and state institutions. So if they placed Girner in a male facility, was that just poor judgment, or was it based on actual medical exams conducted after her arrest? Some rumors suggest that Russian authorities did conduct a physical and classified her as male. If that were true, it's not just shocking, it's deeply troubling. Because if Brittney is indeed a biological woman, then her experience in that prison amounts to one of the worst miscarriages of justice we've seen in years. She described her time in custody as humiliating and psychologically traumatizing. She was mocked, isolated, subjected to inhumane conditions, and barely given basic hygiene supplies. She even said she had to use expired toothpaste to scrub mold off the walls because it wasn't safe to use on her teeth. All of this for what? A couple of vape cartridges? And yet there was no major uproar, no widespread coverage, no real questions being asked by major newsrooms. If she is female, how did no one make this the top story? Where were the human rights advocates? The silence is deafening. But zooming out, the identity angle opens up another door. Back in 2013, Brittney made headlines for coming out as gay. She became a public figure within the LGBTQ plus community and secured major endorsements, even landing a Nike deal. Her memoir shared personal stories about growing up Black, gay, and misunderstood. That story inspired many. But what if we're now looking at a different truth? The conversation becomes complicated. Because in a world where gender and identity are deeply personal and politicized topics, even asking these questions makes people uncomfortable. But the questions still remain. From her physical traits, her lifestyle choices, her tone and mannerisms, to that viral video, people are pointing to clues. Some even claim she fathered a child, though no clear evidence backs that. Then there's the layer of cultural perception. If she presents masculinely, acts outside of traditional gender norms, and isn't overtly feminine, does that make her any less of a woman? Or is society simply unprepared to see gender expressed that way? On the flip side, if she's living as a man off the court, maintaining male behaviors and rejecting feminine norms, not as identity exploration, but as her norm, then what does that say about the system that supports it? Has identity become a shield, one so strong that any attempt to clarify or challenge it is immediately labeled phobic? That's what some people believe. And once that happens, real conversations stop. People stop asking questions. Doubt becomes taboo, and we lose the ability to distinguish narrative from reality. So where do we land? If this entire controversy is one big misunderstanding, then we owe Girner an apology for turning her life into an internet spectacle. But if even a fraction of what's circulating holds truth, then maybe the system has failed on multiple levels. Either way, this goes far beyond basketball. It's about how identity, truth, and media intersect. What started as a foul on the court has turned into a global debate about who gets to ask questions and who gets silenced for doing so. And at the center of it all is a player who just wanted to play the game, but may have unknowingly become the face of one far bigger,